Good evening, everybody. I'm superninja5506, and joining me in the lounge tonight is... Oh, dear God. Things may go awry, but this voice actress sure ain't half-baked. She has loads of crummy puns, but at least she tries. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear more of this lovable loaf. Joining me in the Abridgers lounge is Bread Breaderson.
Hearing you say that was just absolutely beautiful.
I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure you enjoyed that.
Music to my ears.
Now, I had to agree to take down all of the no puns allowed signs for Bread to even show up tonight.
Oh, come on.
The bartender has a loaded gun under the desk for self-protections, and I am a little bit worried for his safety.
That's granted, though. That makes sense.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
He'll be all right. You good, bartender? He's good. Now, how you doing tonight? You doing all right?
I'm doing great.
Now that we have the icebreaker out of the way, let's jump right into the questions. It is happy hour.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Let's get crunk.
Yeah, let me get my apple juice. Woo!
Perfect. First question tonight, how did you get started in acting? I know you've told me about your theater experiences before.
I have always loved theater. Theater's always been a big thing in my life. I always tell people that I started when 9 months old when I played Baby Jesus because I was bald.
Right, as most babies are.
Yes, granted that's expected for a baby. However, really acting started for me, I want to say 8th grade when I stopped doing school theater and I started working at a conservatory theater. And it was the closest thing to Broadway that I'm probably ever gonna get, but it was just the production, the lights, the costumes. I got sucked into it. Production was always my thing. Loved it. And
yeah, and I've done a little bit of theater before, and it's there's no comparing to that feeling, really.
Yeah, and I'd always been one of my childhood friends' mom always tells me how when we used to go to kindergarten together, I would come up to her and I'd be like, "Hello, my name is this, and I would like to sing to you," and I would just sing to the moms. I was always just a really out there kid in that sense. So theater, I took the theater like a flame to gasoline.
That's an interesting descriptor.
Maybe, probably,
I took to theater just burning the entire thing down.
Yeah, absolutely. It took to it very fast and very violently so. I think I've done over 40 productions. That's musical theater. Straight plays, I don't know, because I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
It's a lot, though.
Yes.
So do you have any wacky theater stories to talk about?
Oh, God. Not pertaining to me particularly, but improv is always something that you gotta know. And we were doing a production of Bugsy Malone. This was the first production I did at my conservatory theater. And I was this wee child. We were young. Like I said, about 8th grade. And the main character, he was doing a dance move or something, and he threw his gun into the audience. And because the stage was really close to the audience, so they were right there, and it fell into the front row, and the guy just picked it up and handed it to the main character. He takes it, looks at him, and says, "Thank you," and then goes right back into the scene. And it was just, that type of improv is always really great.
Yeah, I remember, we were doing The Last Days of Judas Iscariot at the, single production I was ever, in as an actor. And our Julius Caesar was super injured. He I think rolled his ankle or something the night before we went on. So he was limping across the stage, and violently limping across the stage at the whoever was playing the lawyer, and one of his bracelets fell off. And they just kind of left it and went with it. And the judge, as Caesar was walking off stage, he said, "Bailiff, could you get Caesar's bling?" And they just kind of rolled with it.
That's the beauty of theater.
Yeah, you just got no show is gonna be exactly the same, and it's a good feeling.
Absolutely. There have been moments where, when I was playing the stepmother in Into the Woods, that show was my thing. I love that show even to this day. It's a great show. And I had all of the lines for a specific scene, which is the giant scene, memorized. And I don't know what it was about that night, but for some reason, everyone collectively on that stage with me forgot their lines. And so it was I want to say there were 8 people on stage, so it was 7 people adrift with 1 captain. and no one knew what to do. And so it was very much like, don't you want to do this? And like, oh, that stupid giant, doing one of the people's lines and like casting a look at them like, hey, you know we're on stage, right? This is a production. People paid to see us. Get your shit together. Oh no.
Yeah, that's like people forgetting their lines is the worst feeling. And I remember the night before the same thing on Last Days of Judas Iscariot, there was one of the actresses had she had left the production or something, and we had to replace her within the last week or two.
Oh god.
And the new one, she had been doing okay, but on our I want to say live rehearsal, I don't remember what the word is, but it's the night before we were doing the full show, and she just completely blanked on her lines and just stood there for a solid minute on her monologue, and all of us just sat there uncomfortably not looking at the director, because he was a nice guy, but I could tell he was not happy because this was the night before the show. Yeah. And then every night of the show she did it flawlessly, and we were all, every time I was just sitting there on the jury bench going, please don't forget your lines, please don't forget your lines, please don't forget your lines.
That's good though.
She pulled it out. It was a good time.
Going back to of me, I think the worst things I've done is completely forget a song, it's a devil's song. If I Were a Bell from Guys and Dolls, immediate Vietnam flashbacks. Because one night, I bet you that was the night my best friend came to the show. We were doing the choreography for it. I did a turn, and before I had done the show, I had done it as a solo piece and forgotten the words then too. And then I did the turn, and as I did the turn, I went, what are the words? And I hit my spot, and the music began again, and I was like, oh.
That song is just cursed for you, I think.
I plan to redeem myself eventually. One day.
Someday.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. How did you get started in voice acting specifically? Who discovered you, I guess?
Oh god. I think I was on Tumblr because it was the days of Tumblr voice acting groups. They were looking for people, and I threw my hat into the bucket, or my coin into the bucket, whatever the term is. And
something with a hat. It's fine.
Yeah, I tried out, and to my surprise, even with my computer mic, I got in, and I was added to a Skype group, and that was very interesting. I think I did that for a year, where I just sat in a call with the same people and did voices with them. We never got anything done. That was the year I don't count in my 2 years of voice acting. And then one day, someone said, hey, have you heard of Behind the Voice Actor? And I was no clue what it was. And I didn't know that there were websites for this kind of stuff. I thought they was very specific, you meet someone and then that someone turns around and says to someone, hey, check this chick out. And then from auditioning there, it kind of went like that. People, I always aimed to turn my lines in on time, and from that, and actually purchasing a good mic, I guess word of me spread around, kind of thing. It went from connection to connection, cause Blank was doing this project, he got me to voice someone, and then he would send me to his friend and to do lines for him, and it went
right.
Yeah, I was
it's basically directors recommend you because they enjoyed the way you did. Hey, I see you need this role. Here's the bread.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was very nerve-wracking at times, because sometimes people wouldn't tell me who they'd recommended me to, and I might have known who that person was, and seeing them just randomly message me would scare the living bejeebers out of me, because even to this day, I'm not anything special. I'm just another female voice actress. And so
don't say that.
But that's how I have to look at it, because if I don't look at it that way, there's always something keeping me going, but the striving to be above and beyond, becomes a little bit muddied, because, I gotta always try my best to be the best that I can be and hopefully stand out.
Yeah, you don't want to just settle. You want to always be doing better.
I want to aim for the stars, and yeah, if you shoot for the moon, you'll always land in the stars. Something
Sure.
like that.
I'm pretty sure that's an expression.
Yes. I'm making up expressions, everybody. All copyrighted by me.
Oh boy. Somebody better write that down before the end of this show.
First ones, I'm gonna bust a nut. Anyway.
Oh boy. What do you think has been your favorite role to date?
Oh man, I think, honest to God, it'd have to be Gila from Seven Deadly Schmucks. She's a really fun character to play. Being directed by Grimm and Buddy is always a huge heap of fun. And I've had people who I've met who are like, "You're not French?" Or I had someone think that I was just a French voice actress, like I did stuff in France, who they managed to get in contact like I was a friend. And I had jokingly been like, just throw my name in as Bread. I'm like, no, I'm an actual person. Hello.
No, it is me, French actor Bread Breaderson.
Ouais, je suis. C'est moi!
Whatever the French word for bread is.
It's pain, which is spelled like pain, like a pain in the ass.
So many layers to this name.
Like an onion. Like onion bread.
What the fuck is onion bread?
Onion bread? You've never had onion bread?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't like
bread.
onions, so no, I have not had onion bread.
Oh, dang. I like onions. They're not that bad. Onions are...
I mean, like, I can eat them, like, with nachos, but, like, by themselves, I'm like, nah.
You eat onion? Oh, okay. I can see how that works. I was
Yeah,
thinking like sauteed
it's like diced onions. No, I don't just like slap whole onions on every nacho.
I wasn't saying that you did. Although that'd be really interesting.
Would it?
I feel like it would be. I would pay to see someone eat a whole onion with nachos.
Just dump fucking 4 red onions on top of your nacho and call that good.
But like, would you eat it like an apple or like dice it first?
I cannot imagine eating an onion like an apple.
I've seen a video of someone doing that.
That sounds so incredibly unpleasant.
I've seen someone do that.
Yeah, did they die?
No, they looked very uncomfortable though.
I imagine.
They were very pained by it.
Yeah, I can see how that would be the case. How do you usually prepare for a session? Do you have any like specific warm-ups that you do?
I usually do some singing warm-ups. I'll sing, just going up the scale, like, going up and down, doing articulation exercises because, you know, like the lips, the teeth, the tip of the mouth, that kind of stuff, or red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, that kind of stuff. Just
all
to
those
kinda
good old
loosen.
theater exercises.
Yeah, those work wonders. Just getting ready and like getting in the state of mind for it too.
Yeah, because you gotta be into whatever character you're in's head. And I imagine like I haven't seen you like typecast. I don't know if that's something like you feel like you are, but you get kind of a lot of roles. A lot of different kinds of roles.
I don't think I get typecast. I think occasionally I'll get into calls and I'll be like, all right, what kind of voice do you want this character to have? Can you just talk? Yeah, that's great. And that's a little weird for me, because at the beginning of my career, I was doing all these weird higher and lower voices, and now a lot of the stuff...
People want you to just be Bread. This character is just Bread.
Just do you. Yeah. And that's... I mean, I'm flattered by it. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Let's do this. But it's like also like, oh, it spooks me.
How did you get into anime? Like, what kind of stuff did you start out watching? I know what you're watching this season because we scream about it like every week.
Oh my god, don't, oh, I can't.
I still haven't seen the most recent one, so don't you dare
I'm not gonna say anything, but holy cow, these kids. Oh, the sad thing is this season, if I just say these kids, no one's gonna know what we're talking about because there are so many children in this season.
There are a couple good These Kids shows this season.
Yeah. I'd have to thank my mom for that, actually. My mom and, like, my childhood friend. Because my mom, whenever we would go to the airport and stuff, she would always pick me up manga, but it would always be, like, one piece, and so it would never be in order either. Like, right. I think I have, like, one of the first mangas I read was Ranma 1/2. I don't know where that went. I have, like, the first one of Card Captor Sakura. I have the worst part of the Full Metal
Alchemist.
Can I English? Full Metal Alchemist manga that you can get, because it's the part where everything terrible happens.
Oh
and
boy.
like they give you just enough time to become emotionally attached to the characters, even in that short span of time. So as a kid, I was like just very distraught.
No, I come back like every time I get there when I rewatch the show, it sucks every time.
And
even
see,
when you know it's coming.
Even just saying it, you knew exactly what part I'm talking about.
Well, it could be one of two parts, really. But
they were in the same
either way,
chapter.
It sucks every time.
I swear to God, they were
was
in the same chapter. I feel like it. Either that or I got both of them. Because I remember reading those two back to back and being like, oh, okay. This is fine.
I'm just gonna cry for 3 weeks now.
Absolutely. Shows I watched. I remember watching, Sailor Moon was a big thing. I watched that. I watched Inuyasha, and then if my dad fell asleep at the TV and Adult Swim happened to be on, I would watch the Naruto series because that was the one my childhood friend showed me, and I thought he was weird because, like, the only reason he showed me it was to show Naruto turning into a hot lady. He was like, isn't that cool?
Right,
and I was
right.
like, what the hell? But, then I got into the series separately. But I think those were, like, my childhood shows, I want to say. Yes. Digimon. I was a huge Pokemon fan, but I was much more into the cards than the show or the movies. Definitely into the video games as well.
What kind of music do you like to listen to or sing?
What kind of music don't I like listening to? Probably country.
Same.
I don't mind country. Like, singing country's always fun because they have these weird, like, twangs. You know, it's the way they speak, and that's always fun to kind of mess around with. I listen to everything from rap to, just vibing music, vaporwave, techno, electronica. I was raised on electronica. Everyone listens to Darude Sandstorm for the meme, but, like, that was my childhood music because my mom and dad love club music. Not like, you know, anything bad, but just, like, party dance music, Aqua, stuff like that. Aqua's completely different, but, right now I'm really into, like, Chance the Rapper, Childish Gambino, Tyler the Creator, Kali Uchis, Janelle Monáe, highly suggest her. But in the same hand, I'm into like Mother, rock and roll, stuff like that. Love rock. I grew up on rock as well.
I'm a classic rock fan myself.
Yeah. I like this 60s punk era where punk was kind of sticking its little toe out there, and then it came out like really intensely.
It stuck its leggy out real far.
That was like, I want to say Blondie, Iggy Pop, Ramones, The Police, that time period. Really great. Stuff I love to sing, I love singing mostly Broadway style stuff, slower songs, but at the same time, I love anime openings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Bloody Stream was like my favorite cover to do because I was screaming into a mic most of the time because I was so excited.
It's a good one.
It's a good
OP.
opening.
Every JoJo OP is good except for like No.
Yeah.
No, I've kind of come around on all of them, honestly. Like that. At first, I didn't like End of the World, but it grew on me.
Yeah, that was the one I didn't like very much at first either. Everyone was like, I don't like Chase at all, and I'm like, what are
Chase
you
is so
talking
good, though.
about? Chase is so edgy, it's great. It's like, yes, it's beautiful. Love that opening.
And then Great Days totally blew it out of the water. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. It's
Great
fine.
Days is really good though.
It's so good.
Jojo, love Jojo. Ah!
JoJo's so good. We forgot to talk about JoJo. Let's turn this into a JoJo cast real quick.
Yes, absolutely. Which JoJo should I marry? I think that should be yes. All. Yes.
All
Harem?
JoJos?
Harem? Yes.
All JoJos?
That sounds good. All JoJo. JoJo.
Every JoJo is a good JoJo.
It's a JoJo journey.
a JoJo journey.
I guess their stand would be Carry On My Way. That's not it. Is that a journey?
That's not Journey. That's Kansas.
I'm so tired. It's been a...
Hold on, is that Kansas? Am I also wrong? No, I think that is Kansas.
I think that is Kansas. I think I'm wrong. I think JoJo Journey. I think I was gonna say something completely different, and then my brain just probably Don't Stop Believing. That's a joke.
Probably don't.
God, I'm gonna get crucified for that. That's fine. This is fine.
It's fine. I'm not cutting. I'll cut all the parts where I fucked up, but none of the parts where you fucked
Ah,
up.
thank you, Super. Many hugs and kisses.
As an actor, do you have any advice you'd like to give to directors?
Be mindful of the actor while of course, the actor should always try to get back to the director and get their lines as fast as possible. The director also has to keep in mind that that person that you're getting the lines from is in fact a person, and that they sometimes can't do things the moment you want to.
Like people are not voice robots.
Yes. And sometimes we need breaks, or sometimes we have other things we want to do. It's okay for a voice actor to say, hey, I can't record tonight, I'm going out to a friend's birthday party. Like, it's not okay if they say, hey, I can't record, I'm going to Timbuktu for 2 years. Wait for me, but...
Yeah, there's a difference between can you wait a night, I had plans, and can you wait several years, I have school.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, context, even with writing a script, like when it comes to context for what's happening, like one of my favorite things that directors will sometimes do, and every time they do it I get really jazzed, is like they'll send me a clip of exactly what's happening, or like a photo of my character's face and say, okay, this is how your character looks. Because sometimes voice actors will go into projects not knowing what the hell the anime is you're abridging. I have done that many a time, where I will see footage of like an abridged that I'm in, and then I'll watch the series. That happened with 7 Deadly Sins. I had no clue what the series was, but luckily I was given the opportunity to understand exactly how the character was reacting to things, so that her lines didn't come out maybe not fitting what was happening in the scene. So that's a big one, because I think that it would really help a lot of actors kind of get into the skin of the character.
Context is super important for things like emotion, tone, even just like inflection. You want
Absolutely, 100%.
Now let's move on to some audience questions.
Ooh.
From the Goof on Discord, why Bread Breaderson? Which I am interpreting to mean, why did you choose that name?
Alright, this story, I love this story because I tell it all the time. One day, I was on Skype, and I was trying to use my real name in, context to the conversation, and people tried, saying, hey, my real name. Problem was, my real name would spell check because they didn't think it was a name into bread, and it kept changing to bread. And so one of my friends said, screw it, you're bread now. And I was like, bread? Bread? Bread. And I was trying to figure out how, I was like, but I can't just be Bread, I have to have a last name. I gotta be cool. And whenever I when I was younger, when I used to insult people, it would be blank Mick Blankerson. Like, that was the algorithm. Like, Snotty
Right.
McSnotterson, Stinky McStinkerson. And so I said,
I can't imagine a more insulting thing to be called.
I was like, Britty McBreaderson. Bread McBreaderson. Bread Breaderson. Bread Breaderson.
Yes.
Yeah, boy! And it's been love since. I love that name. I'm really
It's a
happy
good
with
name.
it. It really
Good
makes me
name.
happy.
And then like somebody else turns it into a meme now.
This is fine. I don't mind it. I'm honored to be memed. I will live on in my memery. It's
Your
wonderful.
meme will live on long after you're gone. From Neo Minister on Twitter, what would your quirk be if you were in the My Hero Academia universe?
Ooh, My Hero Academia. Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you might know I made a little, I did a drawing of myself in the My Hero Academia costume. And within that, I kind of came up with a little quirk for myself where I produce bread from my body and I can bend it.
Yep.
And, the more stale the bread is, the more difficult it is to manipulate. And, dough, I can, make little creatures from, and they can, prance around. And I thought that was really cool.
Little dough servants.
Yes, that would be so cute. Oh my god, I love it. And
It's a good concept.
it just seemed like a funny quirk, because my name's Bread Breaderson.
It's quirky.
It's quirky!
I'm
I'm proud of you.
I'm not. The bartender's giving me that look like he's been betrayed.
I thought I would already been shot for my goof ups. The
No,
goof
it's
asked
fine.
the last question, so. Hey.
No one will. Yeah, the bartender is now crying behind the bar. I don't think he's happy about this turn of events.
Oh no.
He's fine. From Dr. Applejuice on Discord, who wanted me to let you know that he called you Home Slice.
Oh my
What's your favorite line you've ever recorded for a project?
Oh my god. That's so picky though. Cause like, I've been doing this for 2 years, man. I don't remember every line I've had.
What's a good one that comes to mind that you like to use?
For Gilla, I remember the one that everyone tells me when they meet me and they know who I am is le shit, which is something Gilla says when she realizes that she's gotten herself into something a little bit bigger than her.
Mistakes have been made.
Yes. I think my favorite line is like, and Schwein, which is part of a line in Schmucks. Because there's the little pig, this swine. That's clever. But besides that, a lot of the writing that I've gotten a chance to be part of has been really spectacular. So I really can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, you get good writers, and I think, people are fortunate that, like, there are so many good writers right now.
Yes, thank God.
From Kalinari Denko on Twitter, what is the best MHA ship with about 15 eyeball emojis after it?
See, this is only gonna make sense to people who read the manga, but I really like Kirishima and Mina. Kirishima and Mina's a great ship. Bakugo and Toga, I really like that one. Because, hear me out.
Okay, I'm willing.
Who can take all of that anger? Someone who's probably equally as crazy. I feel like they'd neutralize each other. Because I feel like Bakugo yells in a lot of people's faces, but he's never had someone yell in his face, kind of thing. Where it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty true. I'm sure if he were ever called out on his bullshit, he'd be like, oh, fuck,
But I think we've seen Uraraka do that a few times, but like, I don't ship that personally.
Evil ship.
It's not an evil ship, I'm just like, guys, come on, it's a shonen. There's Deku, and there's Ochiko. What do you think's gonna happen?
Fun fact, I don't really ship it either.
Fantastic. But those are my two top ships for my hero.
Yeah, solid ships. From Dark Moon on Discord.
Oh no.
Why are you so gay? Yeah.
Why is he like this? That's a good question. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Can I blame him?
A
little bit.
I think it's probably his fault.
It's probably his fault.
It seems about right.
Just shut up.
From Pyro MG on Twitter.
Oh no.
Who are your inspirations in both the abridging and VA realms?
Oh, God. I do take inspiration from people, like I've seen Kira Buckland, someone who does online voice work and does and does professional work. I mean, she was in Nier Automata, for goodness sakes.
Right.
And that inspires me because to see someone go from doing the same stuff I'm doing now and get out there and do professional things is really, like, it sparks a lot of hope. I'm trying to remember her name. I absolutely idolize, I want to say her name is Shelby. She voices Peridot. She did musical theater before she did voice acting and stuff, which makes sense if you're voicing in Steven Universe, but also is very inspiring because that's another background I come from, where she has gotten into the field that I'm aiming to get into. At the same time, when I look at like voice actors that I am working around, I wouldn't say I do like feel inspired by them. Like I'm like, oh hell yeah, we're all gonna work on this project and we're gonna make it amazing. Or like, oh man, you're doing such a great job, I want to be just as good as you. But at the same time, I don't want to be the same as them because I just really want to be individual.
Yeah, you want to stand out.
Yeah. Above the crowd, even if I have to shout out loud.
God, no, stop. I'm stopping you right there.
I'm gonna stand out till you notice me.
God.
The Goofy movies.
I mean, it's a good movie. I'll give you that one.
It's a good movie.
You get one.
One what?
One.
What? Boy.
You get one. From She Wants the EG on Twitter, if you were a bread, what kind would you be and why?
I'd be white bread. Cause I'm white. I feel like I'd be Wonder Bread because I've been around for a long enough time, and Wonder Bread like does not degrade whatsoever. It's
amazing.
Like yes, I'm Wonder Bread, and Wonder Bread seems like a superhero name, so I'm gonna go with that.
That's solid. From Shadow VA on Twitter, how do you feel with everyone wanting you in projects?
Okay. If we're gonna take this, yes. People want me in their projects. It is super flattering. I'm so happy because, I think people understand fairly a good amount that I love voice acting, but
You don't say.
Love voice acting. When you come to me with your roles, I get so excited because I just love doing anything for voice acting. I love sitting at my mic and doing this performance that is going to be edited to anime, and I'm a character. Like, it's so cool. It makes me so happy, and it just it's such a good feeling. Like, even just like when I audition for something, even if I don't get it, the thrill of the audition just really gets me. And like when people come to me and they're like, hey, I've heard of you and I wanted to invite you to be in a project, that is like crack cocaine to me, because it makes me so good. I'm like, yes.
It's kind of like, it's the same thing with like being on stage in theater. It's just, you can't like explain that feeling unless you
Absolutely. It's like getting a script. God, that's really nerdy, but like when you get a fresh script and it smells like a newly printed book and you're writing in your character's name, like that feeling of accomplishment of being in that position is really nice. It makes me happy to review upon all of that. It makes me very, very happy.
Last question from Super Unhappy Man on Twitter. Do you think you could kill Pyro MG in a fight?
I don't want to say I'd kill him, because I do dearly love Pyro. Pyro is one of my favorite friends. He's actually the person who invited me to a bridge lounge. Abridged lounge. I don't
this thing
know how
we're doing.
to
Don't worry, I'm
English.
taking it out of your check.
But he's the person who invited me to Abridgers lounge, and he's been like one of my favorite, like not my favorite people. Well, yes, one of my favorite people. Like, he's one of my closest friends in this community. But I think I would say I would thoroughly thrash him in a pun battle, which you guys will get to see if you go to Anime Boston next year. Hopefully.
Oh boy. Very, very excited to see Pyro destroyed by his own art.
Yes, I'm very excited as well, because we've done pun battles on our own, and they've shown to be exceedingly exhilarating.
It's a good time. Not so much for everybody around you, but for you specifically.
Oh, it was great. The feeling of someone cringing on the other side of the screen is amazing.
Is it?
Oh yes. From you
Spicy.
reading my intro, it was bellissimo.
I'm sure that's French for fuck you.
That's Italian.
Listen. I don't want to talk about it. All right, the bartender's ears are starting to bleed from the pun volume in this building, and I see a few patrons passed out, so I think it's time to wrap things up. Let's move on to our last call.
Ooh.
So this is the part of the show where you get to talk about yourself for a bit. Just promote stuff, projects you're in, stuff you're working on, that kind of thing.
Ooh. Well, if you want to see my covers and stuff, feel free to follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube. I do on Fridays at 12:30 a.m., which was technically Saturday, but we call it Fridays because neither of us sleep. Me and Pyro OMG have our live stream called Toasty Times, where you'll see us playing video games. Currently, we are playing Hotiful Boyfriend. I am playing Bread Breaderson on her courting adventures. It's very great. I've learned many a bird dialect. Maybe I'll end up using that in the bridging too. Be sure to check out Diger and stuff. I will be working with them soon. Always check out Schmuck Squad, all of that. On my channel, if you want to see more of my work, I have 2 playlists on my channel. One is Best of Bread, which is a music album reference. It's a pun in itself. And that's all my straight work. And then I have my Abridgers and blooper reels, which is all of my comedy work.
Right.
Yep. And
I feel a little bit insulted that you didn't mention me, but it's okay.
oh, check out Super Stuff because I'm in Super Stuff. Super's a super great person. If you can't tell by having super in their name, like hello, like yes, I get to play. Can I say who I play?
Who do you play?
I play Madoka's really bad mom. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to say that.
Yes.
As the person who is me.
I mean, I just did, but I played Madoka's terrible mother.
Well, thank you for joining me, Bread, tonight in the lounge. I have been superninja5506. You can find me at superninja5506 on Twitter or my channel at magicabridged on Twitter. You can find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/magicabridged. If you want to follow the Abridgers Lounge, you can find it at Abridgers Lounge on Twitter or subscribe to this channel. Have you ever wanted to get started in abridging or in abridging now and you want to hang out with other abridgers? Feel free to join our Discord channel where we help new people find their feed and also procrastinate on editing. There's a link in the description below. Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody, and I will meet you next time in the lounge. Good night.
Adi toast!
Kill me.